Doing another live stream of network testing in Pittsburgh. I'm back at the Duquesne College University because right next to Forbes, and it's where I spotted ultra wideband from Verizon with areas that weren't marked on Verizon's own native coverage map. So that's going to be what we're testing out today. Primarily is that ultra wideband, and just to see what T-Mobile and AT&T are looking like. It's an earlier part of the day too. Students are, they're all here during school, so this is going to be a real more key example of more like realistic stress tests because it's only like 3:30, and this time I'm actually like in the spot, so you don't have to actually see me driving around so much. Right now I'm just getting out of my vehicle. I'm in a parking garage. Which the parking garage was interesting, to say the least. So let me just figure out how we get out of said parking garage, and then we'll begin our little journey. Also, this time around, I actually have some stories that I thought might be fun to talk about, and some questions for you guys that I think would be interesting to hear your answers to. For example, one question that came to my mind when I was thinking about things was last night I was thinking about how you guys always ask me like how me and Stetson kind of got into this, right? And we always answer on the show, like I'm the geeky one and so on and so forth. But I was kind of wondering, how you guys got into this yourselves, as well as like what y'all do, like from like a professional standpoint. What are like your kind of like dreams or aspirations in life? Because I know a lot of you guys are more on the younger side than myself. Like Debo Bop, I know, asked me about colleges before, and others like that. So I'm kind of curious to hear what your aspirations are going to be sort of in life, and I do see we got some awesome comments coming in. Intel modem problem already. Sorry. It'll get better once we get out of the parking garage, I have a feeling. I just got to remember how to get out. Hopefully it's not too bad, I hope. Just for the sake of future me, and that way I don't forget. Take a picture. All right. Let's take some stairs here real quick. This should pop me out where I was at, if I can not be a goofball. All right. Okay, now we're on the 7th level, which is where I came in at. So that's good. I know. The start of the streams are always a little bit slow. Maybe I could have held off a little longer when I did this, but you get to watch Dennis in IRL go through the maze of a parking garage in Pittsburgh, which, for whatever reason, is a little more complicated, but I see the exit where I came out at. So I'm walking towards that now. I'm also wearing my nice Mint Mobile shirt that Mint hooked me up with. Got to represent. So, what's up, Carlos? Not too much, man. I'm down in Pittsburgh again, in Duquesne University. I'm going to be walking along Forbes Avenue because this is where I found some ultra wideband coverage that wasn't reported on Verizon's coverage map. So I'm going to be doing some testing again using that Los Mobile line you provided me. Also going to be testing, of course, AT&T as well as uh, T-Mobile, of course. Okay. All right, we're outside, which is good. Okay. It is really nice out today, even though it was raining like earlier on. But it's not reported I found some in Vegas too. Yeah, I know, right? Like I was driving down here today and there was like a little bit of a traffic jam, and I remember when I was making my turn onto Forbes even, I was getting some 5G ultra wideband popping up on my phone. It's really, really surprising. I'm honestly surprised that Pittsburgh isn't a millimeter wave Verizon size, to be honest. But okay. Okay. So we're walking down a hill that leads up to the campus. And then once we're on Forbes, we'll check some things out. And then maybe after I'm done with testing, I'll maybe get some grub and take some pictures. I know it'll be a little random, but show off some of what Pittsburgh's food looks like. But I wish you guys could be out here, because honestly, aside from the speed test, and the city is absolutely like just gorgeous. Like here, let me just take I don't know if the camera does it justice, but it is a beautiful day out with beautiful buildings. It really is nice. See it just, yeah, a lot of the places I've been seeing the millimeter wave, Carlos, have definitely been around like the big enterprise buildings, like PwC, like around the UPMC hospitals. Pretty large like shopping areas. Obviously this campus, which on the topic of UPMC, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that building, but it is just massive building. But oh, speaking of 5G ultra wideband, as we were walking, I just connected to some. Oh, how well can you see that? Wasn't even like planning on it, but we got some 5G ultra wideband, so we'll run a quick speed test here, and then I'll keep walking along. We'll see how long too we can keep it going, and maybe we'll try to pinpoint where this cell site is. So run the speed test now. I apologize if the sun is not doing us justice, but we are connected to 5G ultra wideband. I think my hand got in the way there, which is why the speeds just plummeted, but that's my bad. We'll run another test here, and then we'll try maneuvering around a bit. But I mean, that uplink is what's really astonishing me. Let me just change hands. I know when you cover the antenna, sometimes things get a little wonky. So I'll change hands here. We'll do it again. That's better. Clearly my hand got in the way of the antenna. I'm just trying to look around. I think I see where the cell site is, to be honest. Actually, I don't know how to zoom in on this, but on top of that Chardham Center building right in front of us, right where my finger is, there's a little tiny small cell. I'm like 99.99% sure that's probably our Verizon ultra wideband. And to confirm that, I'm going to walk towards it to see if our, well, one, if our signal gets better, but two, to see if our speeds get better as well. But I'm pretty sure on top of that Chardon building is where it is, which, good thing I came out during the day, because I definitely would never have caught that at nighttime. That is for darn sure. What I think I'll do here is I'll walk on top of this grass. We'll get a more clear line of sight. I'd probably say I'm about I'd say I'm probably about a good 20 to 30 yards away from it. So not the closest that I could possibly be, but we'll see what's up. I'm also going to check. I'm going to check here too. I'm going to check my T-Mobile phone as well, of course, to see what that looks like. So with T-Mobile here, I just realized I have the camera flipped the wrong way, sorry. With T-Mobile here, we're connecting to band 66, 15 megahertz. We've got N4100 megahertz, and that looks to be about it. We'll run a quick speed test with the T-Mobile device as well. I'll crank up that brightness to try to make it easier to see. I don't know how well you guys can make that out. It's hard to see, isn't it? There we go, block it with my body a bit. T-Mobile's performing pretty well here. I mean, it comes back to that whole thing of like, it's not the potential. I mean, it's not the max potential for N41, but that is very excellent capacity, and I can never see how anybody would be upset with that kind of speed. And speaking of speeds, I'm going to force the iPhone 12 Pro to connect to Verizon's LTE so that we can try to see what an LTE speed test would look like here during these very busy hours. Just because I know a lot of you guys still have LTE phones. I'm going to block my number, but I just forced it to LTE. So we're going to go ahead and run another speed test with Verizon to see what LTE is looking like. So LTE, you know, it's doing decent. You know, it's struggling a little bit, but it's doing decent. The uplink, though, that's where it's really at. So it's clear to see that Verizon's millimeter wave across the campus is definitely helping out. I mean, there's some capacity there, but if everybody was relying on LTE, I'm sure things would be a lot worse off for Verizon. But we're going to go ahead and force 5G back on, and we will continue our little adventure actually towards the road off campus, because that's where there's going to be a lot more sites. I was really impressed with how long I was staying connected. I need to keep remembering to flip my camera back so you guys can see my face when I talk, but that's where I was really impressed. So let's keep walking back down, and along the way, of course, there'll be shots of some restaurants. Maybe anybody that's been down to Pittsburgh can make a comment or something if you ever eaten at any of the locations in question. But definitely getting my steps in today. That is for sure. Okay. So speaking of comments, live chat. Oh, Santiago, you got a new iPhone through the upgrade program. That's pretty sweet, man. Congrats. Dave, that's good that you're not having issues with the 13. I'm using the 12 Pro Max, which you can argue is maybe not the best phone for testing purposes, but it's the one I have my lowest line on with Verizon Access, and to a certain extent, I feel like it's a good test phone because it's the iPhone that most people are going to have, I feel like, or it's the device that most people are going to use, I should say, when interacting with the networks, at least here in the U.S. 100 gigahertz millimeter wave. I'm going to be honest, I haven't heard too much about it, to be honest with you. I really want to flip on airplane mode here to see if we can try to connect any other 5G as we turn this corner. We're connecting to Verizon's low band 5G at the moment, but I'm sure as I keep walking here and we actually get more towards the road, we'll start seeing more crop up. Oh man. If not, I can always go back to the parking garage and just redrive. But all right, we're just now getting off the campus, which is good. I know I'm not the fastest walker, but we're starting to creep away from the campus a little bit, which is good. I'm gonna pull up, where is it, Google Maps here. Yeah, I'm walking the right direction, that's good. Okay. We're connected to 5G ultra wideband again, where I'm at right now. I just stopped. I just saw it pick up, so we're back on it. Oh, we lost it. Well, let me rotate hands. Maybe we can get it back. Not sure where we connected at, but it was right here. I just noticed it. I'm looking around. Maybe if I keep walking forward, we'll get better luck. We'll see. I'll run a speed test too to try to... Oh, there it is. All right. Couple footsteps forward made the difference. That's interesting. Okay, so we're back on it. Oh. Well, not sure where the site is though, because the... Oh, we lost it. We lost it just like that, so I'm not sure where it's at. I see some like cell sites actually on top of that red building, so I wonder if that's a possibility. I think it is. I think right in front of this truck that is blocking line of sight might be it. We'll see though, because I'm facing towards it. I'm facing towards it right now. I know it's hard to hear, but there's some small cells and or just antenna in general up there. And I have a sneaking suspicion that's probably where it is. because if I were to go behind the building or turn myself away from it and take a few footsteps here, I have a feeling, yep, it'll disconnect. As soon as I went behind this building and lost, yeah, it's a rooftop. As soon as I went away from that red rooftop over there in the distance, yeah, and as soon as I walked back in front, I reconnected. Yeah, that red rooftop up there, that's where the ultra wideband antenna are. Because as soon as I walked back in front of it, it reconnected. And then as soon as I turned around, it wants to disconnect. So I have a feeling that's where it's at. Oh, sorry. I got you, bro. I gotta put this phone in my pocket. That's what I'll do. I'll take a pic and DM you the antennas here. Hold on. Put this down for a sec. I got you, Los. Los, I'm texting you right now, butter. I have a feeling that's where it's at, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not as good as looking at things like you and Sneed are, but let's see if my suspicion is right. Carlos. All right, images inbound. They're coming your way now. I think that's where they're at, though, because, like I said, as soon as I walked around that corner, that's when the 5G wanted to disconnect. But it seems like as long as I have clear line of sight, it wants to reconnect. Either that or I'm being super fidgety with it. Side note. All right, I'm gonna keep walking though. I'm gonna take a picture of one other set of antenna that could be. It might be the ones on that Chardon building too. I know, it's so scary. I sent one more picture to Los there. It could also be the one that's on top of that Chardon building. But, well, Los dissects that and lets me know how either woefully ignorant I am or not. I'll keep walking and seeing if I can find any more ultra wideband along the way. Hopefully the audio isn't too bad. Yep, it's the Rooftop Sopro, first pick. Okay, cool, I was right? Sweet. All right, sweet. Feel good about it. While we're walking here, though, hopefully you can hear me. I'm gonna... Oh, hold on. Found some more 5G ultra wideband here. It is all over the place, and I'm not sure where the cell site is, but definitely going to run another speed test. Oh, the one I just sent you. Gotcha. The Chatham one. Okay. Well, I'm connected again. Hopefully we can do some deductive reasoning to figure out where it's at, but this one is incredibly well optimized. I'm getting over just over 3 gigabit. Oh, just around 3 gigabits per second. It's only a 2-bar connection though, so I must be far away from it, but I'm gonna try to focus on crossing. Okay, had to whip out the Sprint real quick to get across that really long crossway because there wasn't any like actual stops. I also feel like it should be a little bit quieter now that I moved. Man, if that's that Chartem sites that I'm still connecting to, even though I'm like all the way over here, that's interesting. That's really good range. No, I'm using T-Mobile again. Using the T-Mobile phone because it frees things up. But yeah, I'm definitely connecting that Chartem one still. That's insane. I can't believe the Chartem one has such good range. That's impressive. Because I don't see anywhere else where there could be a small cell. No, 6-star. I'm not Amish. I just too lazy to shave. I need to get a haircut, that's for sure. But my main barber hasn't been working, so I haven't gone to see him in a bit. Hey Austin, I got your text, man. I appreciate it, man. I've been enjoying them too. It's a great excuse to force me to actually go outside, which is definitely something my body definitely could use.
Wait. McAnulty. Walkerson is on the cross. McAnulty.
Oh.
McAnulty. Walkerson is on the
On a side note, I'm still connected to ultra wideband. I haven't lost the connection. Now that we crossed here, I'll pop a quick little squat and we'll run another test. So, one of the things I want to do at some point is I want to do a gaming test in ultra wideband, and I've been planning that out. I think what I'll do is I'll maybe get a nice little laptop, and what we can try doing is using like a game streaming service like Stadia, because I would love to see what the performance looks like. Because the latency is solid. Like, we're getting consistently really great speeds over ultra wideband. Like, it's really truly impressive. And I definitely think it would be possible to game on. Like, the latency is getting to the point where it's low enough. The upload is pretty rock solid. Plenty of download capacity. That is for sure. I'm just taking another test of my T-Mobile line, which is also still connected to N41 100 megahertz. So I'm going to do another speed test with T-Mobile as well, just because we can't leave them out. T-Mobile is really also, I'm not going to lie, T-Mobile is also kind of impressing me here. Like, you guys don't understand, it wasn't literally that long ago where if you wanted to run a speed test here, you would quite literally be lucky to even get into the single digits. Like, I'm talking, it was like kilobit per second kind of like congestion. So honestly, as much as I rag on T-Mobile, they've improved a lot down here as far as coverage goes. Like that N41 really did add a really good amount of capacity. I still think that they should put a focus on adding some small cells, but really impressive stuff as well. Cbro, now you see why Sneed and I love millimeter wave. It's a real game changer, and the beamforming is so much better than back in 2019. Yeah, I mean, I never disliked millimeter wave. My main gripe with millimeter wave is just that, like think about where I had to travel to find it. It's like an Easter egg hunt, and I feel like my main point is, like, the things that millimeter wave are going to allow to happen, like the biggest use case is going to be for like home internet use. You know what I'm saying? And if we're talking about home internet use, I would rather see Verizon just run the fiber, you know? I guess is my main thing. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but Jeb, I mean, I prefer consistency too, you know? Like mid-band spectrum has its role, but if we're talking about what the promises are for 5G, millimeter wave is what's delivering those promises. If we're talking about like the absolute peak, because, you know, the speeds that I'm seeing right now on T-Mobile, like, do not get it wrong, it's really good speeds, but these are also speeds that we saw from like a good LTE network. You know what I'm saying? Which, speaking of a good LTE network, oh my God, I just ran a speed test because I got disconnected from Verizon's 5G. Look at the LTE speeds. That's LTE on Verizon. Oh no, we reconnected the 5G. Sorry, I lied. I guess we reconnected. Whoops-a-daisy. It wasn't at first. We're running a... Well, it says LTE down there. I mean, I'm not lying. No, it dropped back to my LTE. Here, let me turn off 5G entirely. Make sure that wasn't a fluke. Let me turn off 5G real quick. Make sure that wasn't a fluke. But hold on. I'm turning off 5G. Putting back on LTE. Let's run another speed test here. If that wasn't a fluke, I'll be really impressed. But let's see. Well, the ping is really good, but the speeds are not. I might have to cycle to an airplane mode. It gets a little wonky whenever I do that. Let me airplane mode this real quick. Why'd you just get notified? I don't know, man. Do you got that bell notification set on for all notifications? That's what you gotta do. Gotta make sure you're subscribed. Got the bell notification turned on. That way you don't miss none of these surprise streams. All right, I just got done airplane moding it. I want to make sure that Verizon gets a chance to carrier aggregate. Make sure that wasn't like an issue. Nah, Verizon ain't doing it. Let's you know, I haven't tested AT&T in a second here. Let's try AT&T out real quick. Now, AT&T, to be clear here, has been a little bit wonky recently, but let's give them a shot at fame. Yeah, I know it's about the storm later today. That's why I came out. This is AT&T, by the way. This is their 5G. As you can see, the speeds are a little bit inconsistent. I don't know what's been going on with AT&T in my market, but ever since a couple days ago, things got a little wonky. We'll flick on LTE as well to try carrier aggregating, but we'll do one more test here. I should really invest in like a gimbal or something. But I wonder how this sounds for you guys with the cars coming by. Hopefully it ain't too bad. Let's go to settings here real quick. I'm not sure, to be honest, with the PA speed. I don't have a way to like view the band select tool, so it makes it a little rough for me. So I can't really tell. You can see a drop of sweat on my glasses. It's a little warm out. Let's get in some shade. Sorry, had to get a little bit of the sweat out of my eye, or like actually in my physical eye. But turning off AT&T's 5G right now because I want to try to see what LTE looks like, or as they call it, 5G. Oh shit. Let's see here. Yeah, Debo Bob, I agree. AT&T overall dominates Pittsburgh, but Verizon's catching up, man. The millimeter wave is in a lot more places than I was expecting, at least in the actual downtown part of the city. TS Sembrino. I would say AT&T, generally speaking, still has the most capacity overall, like on average, because they're doing like crazy like 5-way carrier aggregation and stuff like that. Followed up by probably Verizon still, I would say. Like they're not getting unless you're on millimeter wave, you're not getting like the peak speeds that you're seeing on like N41, but like their LTE is just so robust. And then I would say like T-Mobile, which, side note, AT&T's LTE is performing better than 5G at the moment, as you can see by these speeds. Which these are really good speeds. And it goes to show what I kind of talk about. Well, AT&T's being really fickle, though. This next speed test is really slow. This is why you have to run multiple tests, too. But oh man, I just got a bunch of notifications all at once. Holy cow. What plan am I using on AT&T? So I have a consumer elite plan for my personal phone, and then Carlos was kind enough to hook me up with a Los Mobile line, which if you want to be on the Death Star network and you're a single line user, is hands down probably the best AT&T plan out there for sure. Like, you get truly unlimited priority data. You got the highest level of priority on the network pretty much, aside from like FirstNet. I think FirstNet has higher than that, but yeah, you basically got the highest level of priority you could want, and you got truly unlimited hotspot, which is just massive. And from a pricing standpoint, it's a really good try airplane mode AT&T. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that right now. From a pricing standpoint, like, Carlos is really good with single line users, that's for sure. If you're doing like family plans though, like I'm talking like 4 people or something like that, I feel like going with normal AT&T unlimited elite's probably the move, unless you need the unlimited hotspot, in which case Los Mobile is still the move. And the only reason why I say that is because when you start getting into those multi-line discounts on like regular consumer AT&T Elite, it gets pretty like cheap, especially if you start talking about additional discounts and stuff like that too that AT&T tends to offer. Plus, HBO Max is a pretty nice perk. I really like the streaming service. Oh, what network and phone am I using for the live? So I'm using an old iPhone 11, which, by the way, airplaning mode definitely fixed the issue. But I'm using an old iPhone 11 that I have, and I'm using the T-Mobile network because I have 3 lines on Magenta Max, so that's what I had to spare. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is kind of my testing phone, and then I wanted to have my Galaxy S21 freed up because it's the one that lets me actually see what bands we're connected to when we're on T-Mobile, which I guess with the new icon, I probably don't need it, but like, I don't know, it's the most detailed like way to get info. I don't know, I figured this was good enough for what we needed, and for now it's fine. If I end up getting another 5G phone or something like that, like say an iPhone 13 or something, then I can always move all the numbers off of this iPhone 12 Pro Max and pop this SIM card into the iPhone 12 Pro Max and call it a day, so to speak. Side note though, airplane mode definitely helped. We're back up to like normal speeds. Like I said, I don't know what's been going on with AT&T recently, but it's been a little bit wonky. So, how is Los Mobile Verizon working for you compared to other Verizon plans? So I'll be honest, I haven't tested other Verizon plans because I personally refuse to buy from postpaid Verizon. I have a personal bit of a grudge. I've made that pretty clear on the podcast, I think, before. But as far as Los Mobile's Verizon access compared to like MVNOs that have access, like say US Mobile, it's definitely leaps and bounds better. Like the priority does matter. And the fact is that Los has all the features supported, which is absolutely massive. Like Wi-Fi calling works perfectly out the box. You know, all the 5G flavors are working out the box. And I've been really happy with the Los access. Honestly, ironically enough, it's probably been the one I've been using the most. It's the reason why I've been using my 12 Pro Max, because I have been so astonished by the sheer fact there's not really a place where Verizon doesn't at least get like 1 bar of coverage. Like I said, I'm not saying they're the fastest in my market. Like AT&T still has that whenever it wants to work normally, but the Los Mobile Verizon access has been pretty on point. The priority definitely helps a lot. That is for sure. Like I said, there's not really a point in time where I'm seeing unusable speeds, and I have a pretty sneaking suspicion that's because of the level of priority. Because like I remember when I tested US Mobile, I was getting like 5 megabits per second at times, or just really poor speeds, and that had to do with being deprioritized. So yeah, I really like it. I can't wait to see when Carlos starts offering it for everybody to use. I think it's going to be huge, and I think without a question that Los has hands down the best Verizon plan on the market. It's more affordable, and it just gives you good quality service, and you don't have to deal with Verizon directly, which is a beautiful thing. Side note, as I go back on my walk here, we're walking towards some more cell sites, but these are macros. I'm not seeing any 5G popping up. I did pop back on the Verizon line, although part of that might be because I probably forgot to turn on 5G again, which I did. So let's put on 5G. There we go. There we go. All right, we got 5G turned back on. Pop on airplane mode again just to refresh it. Heinz Field is relatively close. I mean, it's right across from the baseball field, but it's not a walk. It's not like an easy walk away. I'd have to hop back in my car, which I'm a decent little journey from. That is for sure. Which when I do go back into my car, I'll probably just end the stream. That way you guys don't have to watch all that. But okay, we're back on ultra wideband. That was fast. I'm not 100% sure where it's coming from, but let's look at the stats, because this is really what's interesting, right? Like, these are speeds that you really can't get any other way, right? Like, even your home internet provider probably isn't giving you these kind of download speeds unless you have like Comcast. Oh, nice, PA, nice. I'm not sure what I am for in Carlos's eyes. Maybe I'm a beta tester, I'm not sure, but I'm really appreciative for all that he does for the consumers And I'm really glad that he's giving me the opportunity to test it. I'm having a lot of fun testing out the Verizon Access. It's probably the most fun I've had in a while when it comes to the cell phone connectivity. And it's mainly just because it's so fun to see 5G ultra wideband. Like, the speeds are just wild. So, yeah, TS Sombrino. Yeah, PNC Park does have millimeter wave. It's on the Verizon map. That was actually the first time I tested out 5G millimeter wave, and that was on the first time I drove down there. It took a minute to actually get connected, but yeah, I am aware. And then there's actually some not reported at Heinz Field as well. I'm wondering, I'm going to show you guys the cell phone antenna that I see on top of this rooftop. And I don't know if that's what I'm connecting the 5G to, or connecting the ultra wideband from, but I'll definitely do my best to show you. There's 2 rooftops here that are in question now that I look. So, is there a way to zoom in? Oh, I can zoom in? I did not realize. All right. So, there's antenna on top of this roof, and then there's antenna over there out in that area. I don't know how well the quality is coming in, but those are what I'm kind of seeing right now as far as cell sites. And I do have 5G ultra wideband. I guess the question is going to be, as I walk closer towards that cell site, does my signal strength improve and do the speeds get better? If not, I guess we could figure out that it's probably somewhere back in this vicinity. We just walk around and figure it out. My speeds are getting worse as I walk away, though, from where I was just standing. So unsure right now, but I'm still connected. Still showing that I'm connected anyway. Nah, the speed test just stalled. All right, so let's walk back this way. Oh, we just lost signal altogether. Okay. Did my iPhone just die on me here? I don't know what's going on here. So my iPhone 12 is freaking out. It just totally lost all signal. So let us airplane mode, because both are saying no service. Oh, that's a glitch you said? What's the glitch? I've never seen that happen before. How do you fix it, generally? Just reboot the phone, airplane mode it. How do you fix? Because the phone doesn't want to connect. Airplane mode, okay. Oh, no. The phone actually just straight up crashed. It's rebooting. The phone just straight up crashed. Sorry, guys. It's it just straight up crashed. Well, iPhone crashed, so that's a first. I've never seen the iPhone crash before. No, it's not hot at all. So let's just give it a second here to come back on, and then we'll continue our testing. 2 seconds here. All right, so it came back up. We're instantly back to the 5G. Well, 5G NSA at least. Also, Jerican, no problem, man. No problem. I enjoy doing the stream. Thank you for coming out and watching. It means a lot, and honestly, it's surprising that you guys enjoy me as much as you do, to be honest, at some points. But okay, we're connected back to ultra wideband. I'm standing in the original location that we connected with. So let's try to figure out where this cell is, because I am struggling. I don't see anything on the light poles, which was my first instinct. I don't really see anything outside of the 2 towers that I pinpoint on the buildings, but it's definitely somewhere around here. What I'm going to do is what I was doing before, which I'm going to walk away because the phone kind of freaked out. So let's walk away from it. Let's see if we can figure it out together. Okay. We're definitely getting closer here. Holy Toledo. All right. Let's do another test. We'll keep walking and testing. So far, we're staying connected. It's got to be the big red building. It has to be. It's the only explanation. We'll get closer to it here. We'll cross the street while this sign is still letting us walk. There we go. So there's construction going on, but I'm pretty sure it's that red building. It's got to be. It's got to be because the signal is getting stronger. Speeds have been getting consistently better. It's got to be that. Which, ironically enough, something I recognize a little bit better than small cells is I do actually see fiber strung up. Verizon 5's fiber strung up against the utility poles. That's something I can pin out easier than cell antenna. But yeah, that's the site. I'm 100% positive. I can see this. I can see the small cell now. I'll zoom in on it here. Carlos or someone that's got a trained eye can confirm, but that has to be it. That has to be. Those little cell sites up there. That has to be the millimeter wave, right? I'm not going bonkers. One of those little small cells up there. Not the macro big ones, but like one of the small ones. That's got to be it, right? I'm not losing my mind. Because if not, I'm not sure where else it could be coming from. It has to be. Like, my signal strength is getting stronger, and as I keep walking towards it, my speeds continue to improve. Like, we were getting barely a gig over there. Now we're cracking 2 gigs. All right, yeah, I'll send you a pic here in 2 seconds, Los, 2 seconds. But, like, look at these speeds. Like, that has to be it, right? Like, we're peaking past 3 gigs now as I got closer to it, which we weren't doing before. Which, on a side note, I'm wondering what the fastest you can get on millimeter wave. Can you get 4 gigs? Is that possible to get 4 gigabits? I wonder. All right. All right, so we're popping another squat here. Put you down for a second. All right, Los, I'm going to have another picture coming inbound to you, bud. All right, well, Lois is getting a look at that. Since I found a nice little a nice little place to pop a squad, I'm going to take a peek at T-Mobile. We haven't looked at them in a minute here. So T-Mobile is connecting to band 2 right now, 15 megahertz, N41, 100 megahertz. And yeah, that's what it looks like right now. So I'm going to run a speed test with T-Mobile while we're waiting here for Los, just to see what 5G looks like at this particular spot. I'll also take a look at Google Maps here momentarily to see where I'm actually at, because I'm actually not 100% sure where I'm at this point, how much I've traveled. I feel like we probably covered at least a good distance, because it's been about an hour at this point. But we'll see what's up. All right, so I just finished up with a test. This is N41 100 megahertz, mind you. And this is what I'm talking about with T-Mobile and why I get kind of frustrated. Because look at that inconsistency in performance, right? Like, we were getting like 400 earlier. There's sites where I've gotten 700. This one we're only in like 266, right? So, Carlos, you say you don't see it? Huh. Then where could it be? Because, like, I don't I don't see where it could possibly be at. Let me look up pictures real quick. I know you've uploaded pictures before at different millimeter wave sites. Let me see if I can't see what a small cell millimeter wave looks like. You know what? I wonder something here. Yeah, I appreciate that, man, if you could. I'm wondering if this black box... No, that's a... Nah, that can't be. That's like a transformer now. Well, let me just move real quick. Oh. Forgot how high off the ground I was. All right. Nah, it's just a transformer. I'm stupid. Yeah, send the pics, Los. I'll try to figure it out. I'll keep walking. Also, on a side note, let me look at Google Maps here too so I can tell you guys where I'm at. So, right now, I'm on... I'm along Center Ave, downtown Pittsburgh, across from the City View Apartments and the PPG Paints Arena. That's where I'm at right now. If I keep walking, I'm going to be approaching Uptown Kitchen Pizza, which is delicious. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I just got a text from Lowe's, so I'm going to go ahead and check that text message real quick here. Yeah, I don't see anything that looks like that, Los, what you just sent me. Because that would stick out to me like a sore thumb, and I don't see anything that looks like that, which is the crazy part. So, the site I'm connected to has to be on top of a roof then. Because I don't see that. Almost looks like a light bulb with like antennas on it. I don't see it anywhere. I'm going to send you a pic of something, but I doubt it's it. But it kind of looks like a transformer, so I don't know, maybe. Here, I'll send you a pic of it. Okay, gotcha. I don't think it's it, what I just sent you, but I sent it anyway. This case just likes to collect dirt. Have to give it a good cleaning later. Excuse me. Well, Lois is sending me some pictures, though. Trying to think. So you guys remember earlier I wanted to ask you a question about like career goals and aspirations and stuff like that. I'll tell you one of my kind of career goals that I personally have, and then maybe you guys can share while we're waiting for Lois to get back to me here. Me personally, I really want to be in leadership, like a project manager. I would love to work for basically any company that's doing any type of telecommunications deployment or stuff like integrating AWS into their business to modernize things. Like, I think it would be really fun to go into like a community that's been underserved, right, and figure out a way to give them the broadband internet access that they need, whether that's in the form of fiber, which obviously is my gold standard, whether that's 5G small cell deployments, whether that's, whether that's even Starlink or satellite. Like, that's personally like the kind of role I would love to do, almost like a consulting-esque, like leadership-esque position as far as like long-term career growth. Okay, I just got, there's no white boxes like that I'm seeing. Well, not on pools anyway. Um, hmm. I mean, the only place I can think would be that place I sent you the pictures of, because, like, I mean, Los, how far is the range on millimeter wave? Like, it's like what? Like, maybe a football field or two? At best? Austin, N41 is hit or miss, man. It really depends on the cell site that I'm connecting to. Also, I just realized something, and this might be the answer. There's some more cell phone antenna up there on that building. They're painted. I don't know if you guys can make that out, but they are painted like red, like the building, which is why I didn't catch them at first. And that's probably where the millimeter wave is coming from. I'm willing to bet. So it might not be that one, but that one. You see the millimeter wave? Yep, that's where it's at. It was painted, so I didn't see it at first. I just caught it whenever I was walking. Dude, Los, you got in a mile range. You got in a mile range on millimeter wave. That's insane. That's absolutely wild. All right, so we found our second, or I don't even know, I lost track of millimeter wave site so far on this stream, which is very productive compared to the last time I was out here. Walking is definitely a lot easier to navigate through the city than driving. What's up, guys?
Hey, he's gonna back up real quick. You just want to hang tight for a second.
Oh yeah, sure, no problem.
Thanks.
I didn't realize there was a fire department out here.
Thanks, man.
No problem, man. Bruh, I know, man. Vegas is pretty cool, man. I won't deny. But something about Pittsburgh, man, it's where my heart is, you know? I swear, Carlos, if we get you out here, man, I feel like I can convert you, bro. You'll have some delicious food. You'll get to try out all kinds of fun, cool stuff as far as tech goes. Because, like, we do have a pretty poppin' tech community. Like, Carnegie Mellon University, CMU, man, they be testing out all kinds of new crazy tech, like self-driving or self-autonomized, like, delivery bots. And I know Uber was testing out self-driving cars. So right now, as I make this turn, we're next to UPMC Mercy Hospital, which I think is going to be a pretty dang spot to test, because we know that N41 for T-Mobile tends to do rough around hospitals, and I'd be curious to see if Verizon is getting any type of 5G connectivity or anything like that. Oh yeah, man, Philly's cool. I've only been there once, but Philly's legit. Philly's legit for sure. So we're still connecting to 5G ultra wideband right now. We're right beside UPMC Hospital, Mercy Hospital. I don't know where the ultra wideband is coming from at this point. Oh, I just lost it. Let me walk back. Walk back a bit. We'll try to see where it's coming from. Look, the point of this stream, though, is, like, I've been connected to ultra wideband, like, what feels like the vast majority of this stream, if I do say so myself. I'm gonna just run a quick speed test here with T-Mobile again, just because we're by the hospital, and I know this is where T-Mobile tends to perform their worst, or generally around hospitals. I mean, yeah, AT&T, man. People be sleeping on AT&T. Very underrated carrier. Very underrated. But T-Mobile right now is struggling just to even connect to run a speed test. So let's try here again. There we go. So we're getting about 230 megabits per second, 250 megabits per second down on T-Mobile. And we're getting about 25 megabits per second up right outside the UPMC Mercy Hospital. And I'm pretty sure I'm still connected to N41. Just going to double check that. Which we are. We are still connected to N41, which is great. What I'm going to do, just for giggles, is I'm going to force an LTE connection with T-Mobile so we can see how their LTE network is performing in the same location. Because that's the one I'm using to talk to you guys right now, you know what I'm saying? So let's just refresh that here. Come on, speed test. So even T-Mobile's LTE is performing really, really well. I mean, that's pretty good for T-Mobile's LTE, all things considered. Like, that's totally usable. Totally usable. Very, very usable. You're from Maryland? No one, man. PA Tech. T-Mobile's decent in PA. I don't know if I 100% agree with that statement. I don't know if I co-sign that, because I know T-Mobile really struggles out in rural parts of PA. Really, really struggles. They're getting better. Like, I've been seeing on Twitter people posting N41 coming and stuff like that, but I don't know, man. If I was anywhere that wasn't next to a town of a population of like 10,000 people or more, I don't know if I'd be trusting T-Mobile. At least not in PA. T-Mobile in the city, though, doing really good. They got a little bike rental here. If I wanted to bike around. But there's N41 in 1,000 population towns here. That is pretty wild and really exciting to see. Man, there is a lot of cell sites on top of this, like, I don't know what this is. Is this like a church or something? I don't even know. As I'm getting closer to it, though, it's the one that I showed you guys that was painted here. I'll flip the camera. It's the one that I showed you that's like painted, but there's more on this side of it too. And I definitely see another small cell up there. So that's pretty wild. Verizon's got a lot of equipment here in downtown Pittsburgh. It's really, really good. But man, my phone battery is dying pretty fast. Doing all these tests. Should have brought a battery. Should have brought a Mophie battery. But That is pretty good, Santiago. That is pretty good. They're doing construction along this road here, so I'm going to turn around. Start making my way back to the actual campus. Probably use the bathroom and take a little breather, and I'll hop back in my car and we can do more testing that way. Because I tested a lot of what I want to test along here, which is great. And there's a lot of construction going on that way. Like, sidewalks are blocked. So. Wow. Time really does fly. I've walked 5,000 footsteps apparently so far today. So that's pretty good. Nothing like some network testing to get you into shape. Plus, what's nice about us walking and talking is I can read the comments faster or better. Any of you guys ever go to Duquesne University? Looks like they're building a osteopathic medicine center. I guess there's some construction there. They're building a new building, it looks like. I know some people went to Penn State, which is pretty dope, like myself. But anybody ever go down to a smaller school like Duquesne? PA Tech still needs more N41, but it's getting better. I agree, yeah, N41 is definitely getting better. But T-Mobile needs to, aside from just deploying N41 for the sake of getting that coverage there, they need to improve their backhaul so that way you're actually getting the peak speeds. Like, I can't tell you the amount of cell sites I've seen with N41 where the speeds were like 100 megabits per second, 200 megabits per second. There's like N41 100 megahertz deployed. You know what I mean? Do 1304 Forbes Avenue. I will just say, it's always a treat when you connect to ultra wideband though. It's like a little surprise gift. Oh, we got another comment. Okay. Santiago, I think we're having tower issues here as well, depending on the tower. I've seen one that claimed they had midband. I got speeds of 15 megabits per second. Usually 200 megabits per second at the slowest for midband though. Yeah, I mean, again, it just comes down to like, T-Mobile keeps trying to cut corners, right? Like if you notice on this walk, right, for this downtown area, right, Verizon pretty much had some type of cellular equipment on like every corner of a building, right? Like they just splurged. Like even if it wasn't ultra wideband, like LTE speeds, 5G, like the coverage was there. Like 5 bars coverage, good. AT&T, 5 bars coverage, good. T-Mobile, maybe. Like I'm like this is best case scenario situation for T-Mobile. I'm literally in the heart of like the city. This is best case showings for T-Mobile, And we didn't see any speed tests. Granted, I didn't run this too many, but we didn't see any speed tests cracking like 700 meg, right? And they have that 4100 megahertz deploy. They got band 2 here. They got band 66. Like, they got it all, right? Like, but we're not seeing the absolute peak fruits and speeds like someone might see out in New York, for example. Like New York, I know there have been people that have posted like gigabit speed tests on that 41, right? You're not seeing that here in Pittsburgh. And it comes down to like where the equipment's positioned, the backhaul to the sites, and you know how it's being optimized, right? And T-Mobile's not taking that time in consideration to really optimize it for the Pittsburgh market. Yo, Dennis, if T-Mobile won FirstNet and AT&T bought Sprint, how different do you think the wireless space would be in the USA? I think if AT&T bought Sprint, they would basically end up having a monopoly of customers in the US. Like, they'd just be so massive. And that if T-Mobile got the FirstNet deal, we wouldn't see FirstNet performing as well as it did. I just don't think T-Mobile has the raw capacity to be able to deploy a FirstNet level quality network. Carlos, I didn't know that. That is good to know. That is good to know. Okay. Well, oh, there's BNY Mellon. Man, I love the work of BNY Mellon. They're a pretty awesome place. But why don't we go over a story? I feel like this is a good time to talk about a story while I'm on a boring walk to get to my car. So let me try to think of something. I have some ideas of things to talk about. Let me just think about something that'd be good that I think you guys might find interesting and good to know about me. All right, I got one. So you guys know I love to play on PC and I game on the side. Well, believe it or not, I used to actually game competitively. Back in college, I was actually part of our esports team for Overwatch. And in Overwatch, I was actually top 500 during season 6, 7, and 8. Awesome. The people wanted Dennis and... Wait, what? Hold up. The people wanted Dennis and Stetson person live stream. Yeah, I would love to meet Stetson in IRL. I think it would be fun if we were able to like drive across the country together and test things. That'd be super lit. But in order to do that, a couple things would have to come together. One, I'd have to get some time off, like a good chunk of time off. Two, I'd have to get some good money put aside because, you know, it's going to be expensive to book hotels and stuff, right? And, yeah, three, Seth needs to not be busy either, right? Because, you know, he's working on his side channels and stuff like that. He needs to be around his Mac and stuff to do the video editing and stuff for you guys. So, a lot would have to come into place, but it's definitely something I'd love to happen. In the same way I would love to go see Carlos out in Vegas, right? Like, I love food. I've always wanted to eat at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. You know what I mean? And in Vegas, they have a place called Heart Attack Grill, which I ate at, which is a lot of fun. And they also have some of the most well-renowned buffets. So that's the thing. And I also need to meet up with Sneed at some point. He's not that far away. Like, that could happen in a day trip. So it's definitely something to put on the agenda. But I think I agree with you, Shane and Brian. I wish someone would ask Neville what's up with the backhoe as well. But yeah, if you guys have questions, like, hit me with anything. It doesn't have to be necessarily cell phone related. It can be literally anything when it's something chill like this. Oh yeah. So so I was saying, back when I was in college, I used to game competitively. I was part of like my school's esports team for the Overwatch team, and I thought that was something kind of interesting that you might not have guessed. That was something that I did. Also, when I was in school from undergrad, I used to be pretty big into theater. I wasn't part of the theater club or anything, but like my friends were, and I used to regularly go to shows. And I was taking a photography course at the time, so I would take pictures and stuff like that. And it was a good chance to get a little bit better with using like a DSLR camera, especially in like in an interesting lighting environment like that. If we go back further, in high school, I actually used to be the mascot for my school. And believe it or not, it wasn't the cool thing to do, but I made it kind of cool. And it was a lot of fun. I'd ride in with the cheerleaders and chill with the band people. Get to go to free access to all the high school football games, of course. Got to participate in different charity events, make kids laugh. And it was an interesting experience. And of course, because I was always traveling around the football team's buses across the state, it was a great opportunity for a young version of Dennis to test out the AT&T network at the time, which we're really going back now, because back when I was doing my first testing, it was mostly 3G, which was slow and definitely boring compared to the glorious days of LTE and 5G that we experience today. Whew. But we're back in the parking garage, which is good. I think I am gonna call this stream for right now, because my mind is blank. I'm starting to sweat a bit. And, well, we did a fair chunk of testing. I think I'm gonna call it though. I'm probably gonna go eat. Maybe I'll take some pictures and post it to Twitter. Show you guys off some good food. And if I do any extra tests, I'll screen cap them and share them in a later Twitter post. But I feel pretty good with what we were able to test today. I mean, we got a nice 84-minute stream, which I say is pretty decent for the most part. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, be sure to comment, and let me know what you want to see next time. Peace.